I'm never going to be sitting here thinking how far away I am from $1 million, because those thoughts don't serve me. Me consistently drowning myself in what isn't here yet, it's never going to help me get there faster. Welcome back to my YouTube. My name is Juditha, and this is a channel where we talk about mindset, inner growth, self-awareness, all the things that you're going to need on this journey to create your dream life. Today, we are going to talk about being resilient, like especially when things aren't going your way, when life isn't looking the way you want it to look. It's like, how can you come back from that? The first thing that you have to remember when you're going through anything is that your perspective is everything. Okay, your perspective is literally everything. How you see something, how you think about it, the way you choose to view it, and that's the number one thing. It's that you get to choose how you view everything that happens to you and everything that happens around you. That would be the first thing I would say that would make any of your problems feel a little less lighter, or a little more lighter. Because let's for example say, everybody has a problem with money, right? If money is the issue, then you get to change your perspective about how you deal with that problem. So instead of thinking I don't have enough, you can simply say I don't have enough yet, and make up your mind that you're going to do whatever it takes to have more. So that sounds really simple, and it is in theory, but when you're actually trying to apply it, it might not be as easy, because when your reality is telling you one thing, it's kind of hard for you to make yourself feel or see differently. And it takes practice, just like a muscle. Like any type of mindset work that you have to do is just like how you have to go to the gym to train your muscles. You have to consistently train your mind. You have to consistently do things that is training your mind, like reading, dwelling on solutions more than you do problems. That is how you change your perspective. That is how you are able to see your problems through a different lens. And I would say that was the number one thing that helped me just become more self-aware in general, is that I started to perceive my problems differently. I didn't look at them anymore as if they were the one thing that were stopping me from doing everything I wanted to do in life. No, I just looked at them as, these are the facts of what's going on, and how can I get past this? What am I willing to do to get through this? So you have to be able to choose your perspective, even when it comes to things that aren't as serious. Like let's say you're having an argument with a family member, a friend, whatever. The thing about that is, the way how they see the world is the way they're going to respond to you. The way how they interpret the world, that's what they're going to give to you. And the same for you. When you're having a conversation with somebody and you cannot see eye to eye, is because the way how you're perceiving the world is completely different. And I think arguments would happen less, and people would be more understandable if we all digested that and actually lived by that. By the fact that I know you and I, there's no difference between you and I, besides the fact that we are seeing the world, interpreting the world, experiencing the world in a completely different way. And it has to do with the way we were raised. It has to do with the beliefs that we have collected, as we've grown up, the beliefs that the people around us have given us, also just from looking at our environment, like our direct environment makes us believe certain things. Like I grew up not seeing my family not have enough this, not enough that. So my belief about the world could be very based on a scarcity mindset where, there's never enough. There's never enough time. There's never enough jobs. There's never enough opportunities. And whereas somebody else who grew up in a household who the money was managed better, or, the love was shared better, or, just something like that, just their perspective of the world might be completely different than whatever my perspective of the world would be, because I'm experiencing it differently. So that's where I feel like a lot of disagreements come from. It's just all about your perspective. And like I said, that is your superpower. I always say that is my superpower. I never think things that I know aren't going to serve me. I'm never going to be sitting here thinking how far away I am from $1 million, because those thoughts don't serve me. Me consistently drowning myself in what isn't here yet, it's never going to help me get there faster, and it never ever serves to calm my mind. It never does that. You have to choose the perspective that serves you in everything, even when it comes to you not feeling like you have a purpose in this world. You have to change your perspective about that. It's just that you might not feel like you're doing anything that fulfills you yet. But then if that's the case, your only job is to just learn more about yourself and figure out who you really are and unlearn who you never were, okay? And that all comes with a perspective shift. Like, just imagine if I just sat in the uncertainty that I experienced. Like, there was a point in my life after college where I felt like I don't know what I want to do, but I definitely know I do not want to work for these people. I know I do not want to sit in 5 o'clock traffic from work. I don't want to sit in morning traffic going to work. Like, I don't want this life for the next 40, 50 years. And I have no idea what it is that I want. But instead of just staying in that place, I started to get to learn myself. I started to get to learn about this world. And just through all the years of learning and unlearning, that's when I discovered, oh my God, I know exactly what I want to do. But it took time, and it took me trying different things. Like, I've started businesses that failed, you know what I mean? I've done other things, all in the pursuit of getting to know who I really was in order to become this woman that I am right here. So choose your perspective. Whatever your problem is, ask yourself, what is the other side of this problem? Like, if I were to take my emotions out of it, how can I see this in a way that is actually serving me and not keeping me stuck here, keeping me feeling this way? The second thing that you want to do to be more resilient is to lean into whatever higher power you believe in. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. Whether it be God, whether you call it the universe, whether it's something else, it's another religion, you have to have something bigger than you to believe in. That's just my belief here. That's just what I believe. I think that life feels so much easier when you don't think that you're doing it by yourself. Like, when you know that there's a higher power that you can give some of your problems to, that, you know, when you're uncertain, when you need answers, there's something that you can look up to and talk to, or go within and talk to. Like, I do not know what I would do if I did not believe in a higher power. Like, if I did not believe that the same energy that created me is within me, and that I have the ability to use that power to create my life, like, that's half the reason why I believe that I can do the things that I can do, is because I know that I'm not doing it alone. So whatever it is that you believe in, whatever higher power, whatever you want to call it, you have to learn to lean on that more. The third thing is to spend more time consuming solutions more than you do your problems. Like, this is key to being resilient, because whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you give energy and attention to, that is what is going to grow in your life. So if you're always giving attention to the problems that you have, if you're always giving attention to what you lack, to what you're missing, those are going to be the things that grow in your life, and that it's going to feel bigger than what it actually is. And that is why most of our problems feel so big, is because when we have problems, we're going to sit and harp on those problems. We're going to sit in them as long as it takes. Like, we think that the way to the solution is through the problem, but that's not the case. Like, you cannot be vibrating at the frequency of a problem and think that you're gonna get the solution. Like, it's just not a vibrational match. Like, you have to vibrate higher than your problem in order to get to the solution. And another thing that you want to do is you want to be very, 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 very intentional about the content you're consuming, because that is what your brain is consistently going to be thinking about. Like, if you wake up and you watch TV, reality TV all day, or drama shows, true crime, like whatever it is that you love, if that's the only thing that you're consuming, then I don't see how you're going to grow. I don't see how you're stretching your brain. I don't see how, if you're not taking in new information, how will you ever come up with solutions to things? How will you ever come across opportunities? Like, the thing is, when it's time to solve a problem, your brain automatically goes into what it already knows. Like, it starts to pull from the past. It starts to pull from what you've learned before. It starts to pull from the experiences that you've had before that have taught you things. And if you're not consistently feeding your brain new experiences or new knowledge, new books, new information, then it will forever be pulling from the same stuff. Like, do you see what I'm saying? You have to just give your brain the information, even if you don't know what you're going to do with the information yet, even if you don't know how that information is going to serve you today. Trust me, it'll serve you at some point, because as long as your brain stores it, it'll have more to pull from. You just have to have the information there tucked away so that when it's time, like when the problem comes, your brain is like, oh, we've been here before, or oh, I've read about this, like I know exactly what to do in this situation. So you have to watch what you feed yourself, because that is going to be what your brain pulls from when it's time to come up with the solutions, when it's time to get yourself out of the problems, you know, when it's time to be resilient. That is what your brain is going to pull from. And if all you have in there is housewives and true crime, I don't know how far you're gonna get. Let's just wrap everything all up and conclude. So the first thing is to choose your perspective, okay? You can choose your perspective even when it doesn't feel like it, even when it feels like everything is going wrong. Like, you can still choose your perspective. It's gonna be hard, but you have a choice. You can sit in your problems, or you can choose to see them differently. You can choose to be factual, take some emotion out of it, and say, here is what my situation looks like, and here is what I'm willing to do about it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is lean into whatever higher power you believe in. Like, for me, that's God, that's the universe. Like, I believe that there is something behind the scenes that knows better than I do, that can create and curate my life way better than I could. Like, when you specifically ask for some type of life, when you put a desire out into the universe and you say, I want to be this thing, or I want to do this, like I want to do great things, I want to be known for this. When you set that intention, when you have that desire, the universe automatically starts to curate the experiences that you need to have that life, to become that person. Like, we are all so ready to live a certain type of lifestyle that we forget that it's all about the journey. It's all about who you become in the journey, and that's all that life is trying to do. Like, life is trying to make you into a certain somebody, and usually that somebody is in alignment with your truest desires, with your purest intentions. So you have to stop looking at your challenges as something that is happening to you, when really it's happening for you. You asked for this dream, and when you asked for it, the universe automatically just started to curate a journey that's personalized just for you, that's personalized to make you become the woman, the person that you need to be to have and maintain the lifestyle that you want to have. So keep that in mind. The next time something happens, something that you didn't plan for, something that makes you feel bad, just say to yourself, well, how could this be making me into the person that I need to be? How could this be happening for me? How could God actually just be answering one of my prayers right now? Because when you ask for patience, you are not given the patience. You are given the experiences that are meant to make you patient. When you ask for resilience, guess what? You're going to be put in experiences that make you resilient, that make you that person who can bounce back from anything. That is how the universe works. And that is why you have to choose your perspective every step of the way, because you can become a victim real fast. And then the third thing was, be intentional about what you consume. You have to spend way more time consuming things that'll give you the solution to your problem than the actual problem itself, okay? So when you wake up in the morning, you cannot go straight into the problem. Like, do not wake up, roll over, and think about, how am I going to get over this problem today? No, think about, how many solutions can I come up with today? Like, what am I actually willing to do about these problems? But yes, you have to make sure that you are being intentional about what you consume and why you're consuming it. And that doesn't mean that you never have to watch TV or Netflix again. It just means that you have to prioritize what it is that you're feeding your brain, because your brain is always going to pull from what it knows when it's time to solve problems. And the best thing that you can do is to supply it with a whole bunch of knowledge, like whatever it is that interests you, things about this universe, things about who you really are. Okay, so that is it for today's video. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and like this video, and also drop a comment just letting me know, what do you do in those times when life just feels like it's not going right? Like, how do you train yourself to be resilient? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys bloomed today, because I know I did, and I will see you in the next video.